And that is where the debate is getting heavy. I think it's a lot of people that are unhappy. And you mentioned it earlier. Men have more options as in quantity. There's a lot of women who want to be in a relationship. Now, women have options, but there's not a whole bunch of options in the same type of guy they want. So there's men out there, but are they all over 6 feet? Do they all make over 6 figures? You know, do you find them all sexually attractive? So that's when the pool for women gets smaller, because out of the 1,000 men, they probably really want 10. But all 10,000 women want the 10.
How
that guy, he now knows it. He knows the guy that is 6 feet, makes a lot of money and attractive. He knows he is desired.
Hey. You said it perfect.
Shout out to Merciful. Listen, I'll say this. The Queen just sat here and said, why are these women delusional? Kendra said, you got 10,000 women that want 10 men. And she gonna say, how are they delusional? It says the Queen. And Kendra says, well, you got 10,000 women that want 10 men. The Queen says, that's not delusional.
Can you imagine the conundrum these successful, top percentile guys would be in if all of these women were competing? Can you imagine? But they're not. There's zero competition. Hence the era and the generation of the participation trophy. They think they can just get anything just because they got a Kudakata. They participate and they were born. I got a Kudakata. I want that ninja. Hand them here. What do we get in return? She is the table. Accept her as she is. Yada, yada, yada. Wicked work. Like, we ain't making this up. These are not red pill talking points. These are heathen queen talking. These are women talking points. They're not competing. Compete for who? I ain't doing nothing for no man. And ain't. Granted, you get what you get. Go tell Mr. S-Class, Mr. Bentley, Mr. Rolls Royce, Mr. I go on vacation whenever I want. Go tell him you gonna do whatever you want. You gonna see he gonna turn his back to you, I assure you. No words.
And this is a mental illness. We had to drop today with the woman from Kendra, big old blowed out sister, wanting 100K man. And the guy came in the chat and says, you don't look like a woman that 100K man would like. She gonna say, what does that mean? I make 100K. What does that mean? Quit acting like y'all don't know what the hell this means, man.
We had that sister on our One Single by Choices episode. She claimed she made 6 figures a month, not a year. All right. In roughly 30 days, she was making 6 figures and her man left her. It don't matter. Money ain't gonna keep money for a woman ain't gonna keep no man. It don't matter.
It's not even gonna land the man. Hell with keeping them. It's not gonna get you you're not a man. This is crazy.
And yeah, that's plain and simple. Shout out to Divine Photos. Says in the real world, no one gets what they want. You can ask for 6 figures, doesn't mean you're gonna get it. You are what you attract. Amen.
So when you mentioned polygamy earlier, that was something also a viewpoint that changed for me. I believe in just being honest, whatever you desire. I have met women who said they want a polygamous relationship. It's not always men looking for it. Women look for it too. And just like I accept, gay relationships, I accept that. That's what you desire, right? But you got to be honest with yourself and then living your truth.
Living your truth. Do you think that how much of a role do you think sex plays in like what we as women are looking for? Are we the ones that are more invested in that? Or is it kind of like, I want it, but I'm not so worried? And it's more men who want to make sure that the person is sexually compatible?
Well, I think this is why I say talk to married folks, right? When you get older, I think sex is still important, but a lot of 50-year-olds, and they're not having sex like, when you're 20s and you're 30s, right? So we don't talk about that enough. And I think that's a really good conversation. I think attraction is important on both roles. Men want someone that looks good and a woman wants someone that looks good. So that's very important. But I think sex is, I want to bring out Sprinkle real quick. She has a movement.
All right, before she do that, that's a rabbit hole. Let's stay here for a second. We go to that. But that's part of the problem. We done talked about this so many times about y'all trying to date like men. Well, if I make 100K, why can't I get this man? Y'all can't do what men do. Like, if you want a hands, there we go. You want a man that look good. What you got on that, Mr. Walker? Men want women that look good. Why can't women want, you know?
You can want what you want, but your guy looking good shouldn't be that conducive to your relationship being successful. It's wicked.
Look really good, 100K, stroke her down all night, all that.
And here we go. You want that? Take what comes with that. Men will sit here. Let's say you got a buddy and you see, and it appears he done overshot his coverage. And you like, brother, that's your woman? He like, yeah, you like, you'll be like, you sure that's your woman? Just yours, brother? Because you don't fit the bill for the guy she desires. Why women can't do the same thing? There was one woman on Kendra or Ashley said she had a man. She was a model and her man was a model. She couldn't handle the attention that brother was getting. So it's so weird. Like they want this attractive guy, and men realize if you get an attractive woman, she gonna get attention. You got to eat that. You got to be on your square. Done and done. There you go. Got attractive woman. That's fine. She gonna get attention. I better stay on my square and do my deal. Women don't have that. They're like, I don't care.
So why can't we just have the same? Why can't we have the same standards? Why can't we want beautiful men just like y'all want beautiful men?
Are you serious?
That way we don't want no money. Y'all don't want no money. We just want a beautiful man, and y'all want a beautiful woman. Why can't
stop? Here we go. Let's ride that crazy train. So that's what's happening. So you got these boss chicks.
No, that ain't happening.
I'm right here. I'm on this train with you. I'm agreeing. They got these six-figure women, boss chicks, and now the fellas is like, all right, drizzle. You got the bag. Now they're like, we'll come with you. Yeah, yep. No, y'all got the same standards. Men get the king's gold and they pay for a woman's existence. Now women getting the king's gold, pay for that man's existence. Done and done.
We keep our money and y'all keep y'all money.
Wow.
I'm gonna say this. I'll say this. I think that to each his own, but I think anytime a woman beefs up looks over the character and the stability of a man, she's going to have to compromise in some way, shape, or form. I can't speak for every woman. I'm not very superficial, and I'm not trying to bash men or say that women who need looks are, wrong, but I've always been like that. I look at the person, their heart, their soul, who they are. I've been like that since I was a young girl. So every individual is different. I think that it would behoove women to look more of the characteristics and the stability of the man over his looks, especially when women are known for that being one of our traits. But like I said, I can't speak for every woman, but I will say this, women, if you go out here, and it's not to Heathen Queen, but this is just in general, if you go out looking for looks, just like we want to harshly judge men for going out looking for looks, you just might get something behind those looks that don't equate to what you want in a relationship.
Just like men do. Just like men do.
Yeah, and I think that's fine as long as you're going to understand that just like how women might use their looks to their advantage, like Mr. Walker was saying with that woman who was a model. I think that's what you're talking about, Ashley, right? The woman who went on Ashley and was dating a model and she was a model. But there's something about when a man is a model and he can use that energy for him. And it's a difference when a woman is a model and she's using that energy for her. I just don't think it's the most beneficial ultimately, unless you want to be in that position of ultimately chasing that man, improving that you're worthy of his.
And let me say this to Heathen Queen. This is probably the simplest way we could break this down. Do you not understand that the woman that is the CEO of a billion-dollar corporation is competing with a woman that works at Starbucks? But a man that's the CEO of a billion-dollar corporation ain't competing with 1,000 men that work at Starbucks put together.
If you're a woman who believes in putting money first, then that would be a true statement. But if you're like most women who want to deal with character and personality, who want a partner, not just a man who has money, she wants a partner. A man with money is going to be competing with Michael, the postman, or Michael.
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
Listen, you can't convince men that money is not the top priority for women. When we tell y'all that it's not our top priority for men, y'all don't believe. You don't believe us. And we keep, why do you keep, I keep telling you.
Stop lying.
Why you lying, ho?
Stop lying. Stop lying. Stop.
All I can say is how Pookie beat men in the game. How is Pookie beating the men in the game? According to men, Pookie is getting all the snacks. So if Pookie is getting all the snack and Pookie ain't got no money, how do you explain?
Okay. Can we?
I can answer that. So you said, I love this. This is beautiful. You said, how is Pookie getting all the cootie-catter? Who got the cootie-catter? Who giving it to Pookie? Huh?
The women, right? The women.
So the money and he's beating out the rich guys.
Right. So okay, Mr. Walker, this is the golden question, right? Y'all are basically saying the same thing. I think it's that a majority of women go for looks when they shouldn't be going for looks. But the moment you don't go for looks as the top priority, like a woman like me who doesn't put looks as the top priority, then you're called a gold digger. Then you're called sprinkle. Then you called all these other different names. So it's like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. Heathen Queen sitting here saying, hey, I care more about character and looks. And I'm saying I care more about character and stability. It's like, I'm not saying it is smart. But
women can't win. We either care about looks or we care about money. We don't care. It's always a combination of all of these things. It's not just one thing. If he has money, great. If he has a good personality, has potential, about to be a teacher, about to be a doctor or whatever, we'll take him too, regardless of whether he's poor or not. Has nothing to do with the money factor. It's many factors women consider before they get a man.
And I want to piggyback off that because I have a lot of women who I talk to who have not at all the same mentality as me when it comes to dating. And so I have to back up Heathen Queen, although I don't live from that perspective. I see a lot of women who have a spiritual connection. I gotta, it's the sex. It's the he's so fine and I just can't. It's so many women who do have that same perspective. I'm not saying that it's smart or whatever, but I'm just saying I see a lot of it. And I think y'all are arguing the same point, Mr. Walker, because you also agree that a lot of these women are getting shot up the club by Nug Nug.
And Nug Nug don't have no money. So that doesn't explain this money being the most important thing.
Who said money was the most important thing? Again, the CEO ain't just about money. If you CEO, if you're a CEO, you got drive, ambition. You see what I'm saying? So stop. Yes, you.
It don't have nothing to do with his money. It has nothing to do with his money.
Gavin made a point, and you try to shut it down by saying it ain't just about
you
money.
Just try to add 3-4 points to that money. You added 3-4 points to that money. Drive, ambition, blah 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 blah. Instead of just saying the money.
Going on, and she talked a lot about getting men with money. You should get a man as a provider. And I'm not mad at her message, but I think that what some women miss to her message is she talks about money. She's on record saying she's not talking about good sex. She's not even talking about him being faithful. She's not talking about him being attractive. She's talking solely about getting a man that is going to pay your bills and a provider for you. So I think at some point in time, and I'm not mad at that either if that's what you want, but you have to know, it's like the 80-20 rule. Maybe you might have good sex with one guy, but he don't make a lot of money. Or maybe the guy that makes a lot of money doesn't give you good sex. You got to make that decision for yourself.
It's a lot to unpack, but I mean it's real, and just listening to the way that you've come to terms with, because I know that on your show it's a lot of different people and a lot of different people want a lot of different things. I've seen men up there. I've seen you looking at people, and I know it's hilarious.
It's everything.
You know what I'm saying? It's everything on it. So what is going to happen with the app?
So the difference what I like about my show is because you get to hear from real singles people. It's like you'll never be catfished again. It's like our slogan is the app that gets to let you know the person beyond the photo. So it's one thing, and this has happened. I've had attractive men come on my show, and once they start talking, the women don't like them no more. Oh, he's a narcissist. Because once they start hearing his beliefs, what he stands for, what he desires, he's no longer attracted to them. Then I've had men who they might be like medium, right? Like not really the finest man, but not ugly. But when they hear what his goals are and what he desires for a family, women are like, oh, I want that man. Because it comes to a point in time where when you're young, all you care about is looks and having fun. But I think this happens a lot with women who have children. Sometimes they might have a child by a man and he's not a good father. And then now they call this the Russell Wilson situation. And I hate this because I really love Sierra and Russell Wilson, but they always say, oh, Sierra wanted a bad guy and then she wanted the good guy. But that does happen a lot. I think sometimes when women become moms, their desires and what they want in a man shift. Now it's like, listen, I need a man that's going to be here, help me raise these kids, because this is tough. I'm trying to raise children by myself. Well, the guy, I hear this conversation a lot. The guy that has the money, that can't take care of your kids, sometimes he feels like, oh, so you wanted to have a baby by the tall, 6 foot, dark-skinned guy, but now you want me because I have good character to help you raise it. You want me to take care of him because I wasn't good enough to procreate with, because maybe I didn't have the attraction level or the money level, but now you want me. So some men, I hear that a lot. A lot of men say that.
So here we are, Mr. Walker. Where we at? What Kendra up here talking about?
Bull jab. She brought up Russell and Sierra. I love it. I love it. Russell in Pittsburgh. Shout out to Russell. Listen. She said, it is true. Women do like the bad guy in the beginning. Then once they have a kid, now they want a marriage-minded guy. Fine. That's fit. Do your thing. But it ain't happening. You can't move through life, start this way, and then say, all right, now I want to rewrite the rules. I done gave my womb up to a nug individuals, but now I won't be married and all this. Fair. If everybody want a Sierra situation, you got to not only take her prayer, but also her routine. Wake up at 5 a.m. every day and go run 3 miles. Be fit, feminine, and all that. And then you just may start there and come back and report back. Until then, hush up. How about
the women who start out when they're in their 20s, they are fit, feminine, friendly. Usually that's what they are. And then they find a man that they want to get involved with and they get pregnant. That man does not want to marry the
queen.
That's why she's
the queen. You started offline. Like you I'll cut you out. Let you keep lying. We let you get it out. All right. You said most of these women, 21 years old or whatever, most of them are fit, feminine, and friendly. That's a lie from the pits of hell. That's a lie from the pits of hell. So when 80%
they have no babies yet. How am I lying?
80% of them blowed out. Yeah, about 75% of them got bad attitudes. And you talk about most of them fit, feminine, and friendly.
Both of these women these are young women. Men are not the best husband or husband candidate either. They both can grow and learn together. That's the whole point. The whole point is to get married early. When they both young, they both don't have no babies on their back. They both can build together, grow together, make things happen together. He won't have to worry about no woman taking his money because he know where she came from. She don't have to worry about him cheating because he understands the importance of family and having babies in the house with him. That's why I encourage you to get married when you are young. That's why I say these women are not blown out when they're young. They get blown out after they have their
they are blown out.
That's not true. That's not true.
Yeah, they should get married young.
It's easier for her to lose the weight at that particular time. But I'm saying getting married, getting married early is the way to go. So you build together and y'all can build a legacy together. And then you don't have to worry about all these pitfalls these women and these men got to deal with now. Baby mamas, him having multiple kids, him not having a job, and you not being satisfied with him not having $100,000. All of these.
Well, I'll say this. I'll say this, Mr. Walker, real quick. I'll say probably 90% of melanated women under the age of 25 are either blowed out or got a bad attitude, or a combination of both. What you got, Mr. Walker? Go ahead.
Now, Heather Queen, you said that we should get married young. I agree 100% with that. Now, what age is young? Let's get age. Let's give these young women some real hard instructions. What's young?
I got married when I was 23. So
beautiful.
I say 22,
I got married.
23, 24. Him being around 25, 26. A little bit more experience, a little bit more of dating and seeing different women.
Beautiful.
I'm glad I'm unfortunately I'm down HQ, but this is my thing, because I'm so sick of the wimpy men. Because when you been that girl and you still that girl, and that ain't no clout to me, I'm just saying, like, stop it. How many guys had a crush on the it girl or the cheerleader or the girl who was, you know, maybe just a beautiful girl? She didn't even have to be popular. It's not our fault that you didn't have enough gonads to walk up to us and say, hey, I like you. And that's not nothing against the guy in the corner. Hey, I like the little geeks and whatnot. Hey, but I'm sick of them coming 10, 20, 30 years later on the internet crying about the fact that she had a relationship with someone else who walked up to her, who wanted to be with her, who had enough courage. And I know it can be very intimidating for a man to walk up to a young woman, but the point is, it's also this tired ass wimpy cry of a man who didn't grow some gonads until he was out of college or whatever. And I'm just over it. Like, stop. Like, you didn't walk up to that woman. So if you didn't walk up to that woman, or you were skinny and wimpy and insecure and she didn't want to deal with you, that is your problem. Just like it's her problem to deal with the things that she needs to. So that also is a tired talking point. She didn't want Russell Williams when he wasn't Russell Williams. Well, Russell Williams wasn't even Russell Williams yet. So get over it.
Wait, what about Russ?
Who is Russell Williams, first of all?
Russell Wilson.
I was gonna let it ride. So what, Russell? What's the thing? So you said, I don't understand what you're saying.
What I'm saying is that just like how back then they didn't want me, now how they all on me, right? You got the girls who were super skinny in high school or whatever, and didn't nobody want them, and now they thick as hell and looking good where everybody else blow it out. And they like, now you want me. Yeah, they want you because you look good and you were skinny or fat as hell in high school. Just like the guy who was a geek or who was insecure or didn't feel confident enough to walk up to that woman, or even when they did, they were denied. Now you're crying about it 20, 30 years later. Get over it. It is what it is. You meet people at the time that you're supposed to.
Okay. I'm trying to get the point. Shout out to Who's the Master.